when my girlfriend and I moved into my grandmother's old estate. I thought it would be a peaceful, fresh start. But the first night, she whispered my dead uncle's name in her sleep, the same uncle who vanished 30 years ago, and it turns out she'd been dreaming about him her whole life. The house stood 3 stories high, weather-worn and cloaked in ivy, with crooked shutters and a wraparound porch that groaned in the wind. Hemlock Road was aptly named. The trees loomed with gnarled limbs, and even at noon the house felt shaded, swallowed by silence. We arrived late afternoon with the U-Haul packed to the brim. My girlfriend, Leela, stepped out first and stared at the estate like it was familiar. She'd never seen it in person before, but her eyes traced the gables and upper windows as though remembering. "You okay?" I asked, hauling down a box of kitchenware. She didn't answer at first. Then, with a blink, she smiled. "Yeah, just weird déjà vu. We'd been together 3 years." Leela was the grounded one-art teacher, patient. Never believed in ghosts or karma or anything woo-woo, so her unease struck me as odd. The house had been in my family for generations. Grandma Agnes passed 6 months ago and, to everyone's surprise, left the estate to me. Not my mother, not my uncles, just me. A mystery, but I'd take it. We needed the space, and it meant I could finally paint full-time while Leela taught in town. By nightfall, we had the essentials unpacked. We ate takeout cross-legged on the living room floor. The house creaked and shifted with every breeze. The old place smelled like cedar and dust, but something sweeter lingered too, like wilted lilies. That night, I woke to whispering. I blinked in the dark. Moonlight spilled in through the cracked curtain. Leela was turned toward me, eyes shut, her lips moving faintly. I leaned closer. "Micah," she whispered. "Don't go." The name froze my blood. Micah. My uncle. My mother's younger brother. He vanished when he was 17. Just disappeared. They said he ran away. But the house always felt colder after that. His room was still intact upstairs. "Lock tight, Leela," I whispered. She stirred but didn't wake, just turned and murmured again, "I found you." The next morning, I didn't mention what I'd heard. I figured she'd deny it or laugh it off. Leela sipped her coffee at the kitchen window, watching the fog roll across the yard like she was expecting something to walk out of it. "You sleep okay?" I asked. She turned to me slowly, blinking like she'd been deep underwater. "Yeah," she said. "Strange dreams, Micah?" I asked, careful. Her cup paused midway to her lips. "Huh, you said a name in your sleep." "My uncle's." She set the mug down gently, eyes fixed on the grain of the table. "That's weird. I don't remember any of it." I nodded. "Let it go." But it stuck with me. Later that afternoon, we explored the second floor. Dust-coated everything. Grandma's bedroom was sealed shut, but I had the key. Inside, it was like she'd never left. Perfume bottles, an old Bible, a cracked photograph of her wedding day. But what caught Lila's attention was the hallway closet. "What's in there?" she asked. I opened it. Just coats, scarves, old boots. But behind the coats, a smaller door. Half-sized, barely visible. "Crawl space maybe," I muttered. Leela crouched and tugged it open. Inside was a short, narrow passage leading into darkness. "Let's not," I began. But she was already crawling in. "It goes somewhere," she said. "I can feel air moving." I grabbed a flashlight. We crawled through. The tunnel bent left, then right, then opened into a tiny room behind the wall of what should have been Micah's locked bedroom. Inside were faded posters, a mattress, a bookshelf covered in mold. And on the floor, a box of letters. Each envelope was addressed the same way. To my future bride. I looked at Leela. She looked pale. "Micah wrote these?" she asked. "They look old, like decades." She reached down and picked one up. Her fingers trembled. She opened it. She read. Her mouth moved silently along with the words as though she already knew them by heart. That night, Leela wouldn't speak. She sat on the edge of the bed for hours, clutching the unopened letters. Her face looked hollowed out, her eyes ringed in shadow. I watched her from the doorway, unsure if I should interrupt whatever trance she was in. I finally spoke. "You want to talk about it?" She flinched, then slowly turned to face me. "I've read these before," she said. "Leela, you couldn't have." "I have," she insisted. "When I was little, in my dreams, Micah used to leave them on my windowsill. I'd wake up with paper cuts. A chill ran through me. I thought they were dreams." She whispered. "But I remember these words. I remember how they made me feel." She opened one of the envelopes. Her voice trembled as she read aloud. "You don't know it yet, but I've chosen you. I saw your face in the mirror the night I disappeared. You were so small, so perfect. I'll wait, as long as it takes, and when you come to Hemlock Road, I'll take you with me." My skin crawled. I yanked the letter from her hands. "This is sick," I said. "You're not reading any more of this." But Leela just smiled faintly and looked past me toward the antique mirror mounted on the wall. "I think he's been waiting behind that mirror all this time." I turned. The mirror reflected the room perfectly, except I wasn't in it, only Leela, and behind her, a figure. I spun around, heart hammering. No one there. Just Leela, frozen, staring into the glass. "Did you see it too?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I walked over and touched the mirror's surface. It was cold, too cold. Beneath the glass, my reflection returned, but subtly wrong. My expression lagged a second behind. My eyes looked older. "I think the house remembers him," Leela said. "I think it remembers us." "I don't want to hear that." "Micah loved someone," she whispered. "But she never came, so he found her in the next generation. That's what the letters mean. That's why I've always felt what?" She turned to me with tears in her eyes. "Like I belonged here. Like I owed something." We slept in silence that night, or tried to. Leela curled away from me, clutching one of the letters to her chest. The next morning, I found her in Micah's room again. The mirror had been moved. "How'd you?" "I heard music," she said softly. "A violin." Just like in my dreams, she was barefoot, standing in the center of a chalk circle. Symbols I didn't recognize were drawn across the floorboards, matching ones from Micah's letters. "Leela, stop this. You're scaring me." She looked at me sadly. "You can't stop it. He chose me, and I think I chose him back. Then she pressed a piece of paper into my hand. It was from Micah's journal. Only blood can open the door. Only love can hold. It opened. The bride must remember. The witness must forget. The walls around us creaked, then groaned. The house wasn't settling. It was breathing. Something had awakened, and it wanted her back. I barely slept. Lila's words echoed through my head like whispers in a tunnel. He chose me. The next day, I tried to get her to leave. I packed a bag. I told her we needed a break from the house. A weekend trip, a hotel, anything. But she wouldn't budge. I can't go, she said, sitting on the staircase. Her fingers wrapped around one of Micah's letters like it was a lifeline. If I leave, he'll vanish again. My voice cracked. Lila, there is no he. Micah is dead. Her gaze turned glassy. He's not to me. That night, I hid the letters, every last one. I stuffed them in the wood-burning stove and lit a match. The smoke curled up black and sour. For a moment, I thought it was done. Then I returned to the bedroom and found her staring at a fresh envelope. To my future bride, trembling, I opened it myself. Inside, a photo of Lila. Aged, faded. But she looked 12. Her school uniform, her braided hair, and Micah beside her, smiling. My breath left my lungs. Tell me that's not real, I whispered. Lila nodded slowly. It's real. I remember that day. But I was alone. No one was standing beside me. Not in the photo. Not until now. The house groaned again. The mirror cracked. And Lila collapsed. I caught her before she hit the floor, but her eyes had rolled back. She wasn't unconscious. She was somewhere else. Her mouth moved, whispering names I didn't recognize. Agnes, Ruth, Miriam. Then finally, Micah. I laid her on the bed. I paced. I tried calling someone, but the phones were dead. My cell had no signal. The windows showed darkness even though it was only afternoon. I returned to the hidden passage, searching for anything that could explain what was happening. That's when I found the second journal. It was under the floorboard in Micah's room. The entries were frantic, messy, but one page was clear. I made the pact for love. Grandma did it too. So did her mother. We all offered something to keep the house alive, to protect it, to stay loved. But the price is memory. The witness must forget, or the bond breaks. My hands shook. Was I the witness? Had this happened before? Was this happening again? I rushed back to Lila just in time to see her standing. Not asleep, not awake, whispering in Micah's voice, and staring directly at me. The voice that came out of her mouth wasn't hers. Low, raspy, male. Why did you burn them? My legs locked. Micah. I choked. Lila's head tilted. Her eyes blinked. Slowly, she remembered everything. I waited, and you tried to end it. You tried to tear her from me. I didn't. I'm trying to help her. She doesn't need help. The voice rasped. She's home. I reached for her. Lila. Wake up. Fight him, please. She laughed, but it wasn't her laugh. It was deeper, sadder, ancient. You think she's the first? Micah said through her lips. You think this started with us? Then Lila fell to her knees and began clawing at the floorboards. Her nails scratched symbol circles, crosses, teeth like shapes into the wood. She is the house now, he said. And you're just the witness. You'll forget. You always do. No, I whispered. Not this time. I ran down the stairs, to the basement. There was one place I hadn't looked. My grandmother's sealed cellar. I found the rusted key in her old Bible, where she'd marked Micah's birth date. The door creaked open with a sound like a sigh. Inside, the basement was stone-walled, lined with candle stubs and blackened bones. A giant mirror leaned against the back wall. Not like the one upstairs, this one was full-length, ornate, wrapped in barbed iron, and engraved with names. Micah, Agnes, Ruth, Miriam. And Lila. Freshly carved. My name was beneath it, faint, as though, not yet finished. Something moved inside the glass. My reflection stepped closer but didn't mimic me. It raised a hand when mine stayed down. It smiled. Then, it spoke. You can still save her. I stepped closer. How? Finish the pact. Or break it. One will cost your memory. The other will cost her soul. What does that mean? But the mirror darkened. The reflection was gone. I heard footsteps behind me, barefoot, soft, then a whisper. I remember now. Lila's voice, but not just hers. And behind it, something coming up the stairs. I turned slowly. Lila stood at the top of the basement steps. But it wasn't just her. Her face shimmered as though someone else's was trying to overlay it. Her voice, when she spoke, layered itself, a chord of two lies. I remember every version of this house, she said. Every life Micah lived, every time we met, every time I forgot. She descended one step at a time. The light from the mirror flickering. You were always the witness, she said. Always the one left behind. That's your role. You carry the memory until it's too heavy. And then you forget. Lila, I said, you don't have to do this. She stepped off the final stair and walked toward the mirror. I already did, she whispered. Before I was even born. The mirror glowed red. I lunged forward, grabbed her arm. Fight it, please. She didn't resist, but her expression was calm, peaceful. You love me, right? She asked. Of course I do. Then let me go. No. Then remember. The glass split open down the middle. A blinding light poured out, and in it, I saw flashes. Lila in a Victorian dress, weeping. A girl who looked like her, running from the woods, clutching a letter. Micah, whispering through every mirror, waiting. Me, standing beside them each time. Always older, always left behind. The mirror pulsed. And then she stepped into it. I reached for her too late. She vanished. The mirror sealed. And my name, beneath hers, began to fade. I woke on the living room floor. The house was quiet, still. Sunlight streamed through clean windows. I checked my phone. Full signal. I checked the bedroom. Empty. No letters. No mirror. I found boxes labeled Lila stacked near the front door. But I didn't remember packing them. In my wallet, a photo of us was missing. Her name just out of reach, like a dream you forget the second you wake up. But the painting in the upstairs hallway caught my eye, a woman in a white dress, standing in front of the estate, her face turned slightly, almost smiling. I stared at it for a long time. She looked familiar, and I couldn't remember why. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you forget something you were never meant to remember.